Far-right extremist Stephan Ernst sentenced to life in prison for the murder of a German politician.
Here's a summary of the article.
In its verdict against 47-year-old Stephan Ernst, the Frankfurt State Court noted the particular severity of the crime, meaning that he will likely not be eligible for release after 15 years as is typical under German law, the dpa news agency reported. During his trial, Ernst admitted to the June 1, 2019 shooting of Walter Lübcke, a member of Chancellor Angela Merkel's party who led the regional administration in the Kassel area of central Germany, though he gave three different versions of events. Prosecutors said Ernst had attended a 2015 town hall event where the politician had defended the German government's decision to allow hundreds of thousands of asylum seekers into the country. The court found that Ernst projected xenophobia onto Dr. Lübcke. Ernst shot Lübcke on the politician's porch and he died hours later. An accomplice who prosecutors alleged was with Ernst at the scene of the crime, identified only as Marcus H. due to German privacy laws, was convicted of weapons violations and sentenced to 18 months probation. Ernst was cleared of separate charges of stabbing and seriously wounding an Iraqi refugee in 2016.
This post received a score of 7,900, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
As a side note, most German news articles don't mention his name. Don't give people like him more attention than they deserve.
That is one good reason. But in Germany, protection of the individual is also a very important principle, and more often than not omitting names is based on this principle.
True. It's a mix of both. While the courts, police etc. might not reveal the name based on the protection of the individual, I feel like it's also a part of the local media culture. Not an expert on the subject tbh. Publication of murderers' names on the news is one of the factors that leads to epidemics of mass murders, so it's a good thing regardless of the rationale, I think.
I see that dynamic in the US for sure. CNN and other news outlets thrive on atrocity porn. But I think when you're talking about political violence in which politicians are murdered, I do think you say who did it. We're not talking about the Munich mall shooting, more of an American-style mass murder, we are talking about political violence. Can't sweep it under the rug.
There still is zero reason why the name should be published. That is just putting people on the scaffold, a barbaric practice based on humiliation and revenge that has nothing to do with protecting society or rehabilitation.
For everyone interested in what he did, the short version is that a German local politician said, out of context, something like, if you don't believe in human rights and decency when it comes to helping refugees, you can always leave Germany. The video was cut out of context and shared among right-wingers for years on Twitter, where they insulted and threatened him. This guy, a on-off neo-Nazi, took the next step and murdered him on his balcony 4 years after.
Fascists assassinating people they disagree with. Now where have I seen this before? Thinking face. Man, this was right around the corner from where I live. Same for me. Now kiss.
Greater than far-right extremist, why can't they just say, neo-Nazi? That's literally what we're dealing with here.
This is most likely because it's a translation from the German term, Rechtsextremist, which is the formal term used by media outlets, publications and legislations.
The fun thing is that in English you need to be far right to be an extremist, whereas in Germany the term is simply right extremist.
Terrorists get what they deserve.
Fuck, he just looks evil.
Holding that much hate in your heart is tiring.
First time seeing his face. I live in Germany and they always block his and any other criminals like Maddie McCann's suspected killer.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.